Good morning students, welcome to your science class. Students, today we are going to discuss about block number 29, which is food management. So let's start our class. So let's do a quick recap of what we have learned in our earlier class. Students, earlier class we learned about leguminous and non-leguminous crop and how does this leguminous crop and non-leguminous crop helps the farmer and the soil, and then we learnt about crop rotation. After that we discussed about mixed cropping, and then we discussed about its storage. So these are the few things we discussed in our earlier class. In today's class we will be moving further and we will be learning about animal husbandry and the technology used in this sector. So before we proceed further, we'll need few resources for our class, and those resources would be S3 worksheet, our notebook, as well as our content book. So the keywords we will be using today would be husbandry, reared, biotechnology, genetic engineering, and genes are the few keywords we will be using in our class today. So let's proceed further. The aim of our class is that we will be able to describe the need of animal husbandry and the role of genetic engineering and biotechnology in increasing the food production. So these are the few points we will be discussing in details today. Now beside plants, what other sources of food do humans use? Give examples of different types of food obtained from different animals. So students, we know that besides plants we have animals also the source of food for us. So we know that most of us depend on animals for different type of foods, and this helps the farmer in lots of ways. Now for example, we get milk from cows and eggs and meats, right? We also get wool from sheep, and honey rearing is also done, honeybee rearing is done to get honey. Now apart from all these things, animals are also used to carry loads. So you can talk about donkeys, you can talk about oxen, right? These are used to carry weight or as a mode of transport. Now, when we talk about this, what is animal husbandry and why is it practiced? So, talking about and what animal husbandry practices did you read about? Now, students, rearing of animals. When we talk about rearing of animals, we are talking about animals which we use to obtain product or food from them. Now, this is called as animal husbandry. Now, just now we read about different animals like cows, buffaloes, sheep, goats, and honeybees. They are reared. Now, animal husbandry is practiced to make sure there are enough animals to provide food and materials to humans, right? Now apiculture, sericulture, pisciculture, poultry farming and cattle rearing are some of the examples of animal husbandry. Now let's move to our next topic, which is how is animal husbandry similar and different from crop production, and why do animal needs free movement? Now to answer this question, now we know that like a crop production, animal husbandry also involves certain and a special care, right? So several steps in rearing animals, like you have to take care of the animal, you have to provide good food, you will have to breed them, there are other care which also has to be taken for the animal. Now this, when we do that, this helps us to get good quality of food or raw material from the animals. Now healthy animals will provide healthy food. Now what about free movement of the animal? Now free movement and nutritious diet will help the farmer to develop healthy animals. Now there are times where diseases, different kind of disease also happens to animals. So to avoid that happens because when the healthy diet is not provided. But what happens when an animal falls sick? What do we do then? Now diseases in animals, if the animal is sick, if it's not been given a proper diet or a proper condition, then they will not develop well. So therefore regular vaccination and examination by veterinary doctors are important. So animals like sheep and silkworms also need a special care. Now how does animal husbandry help in increasing food production? Now when we talk about animals which are reared for food items such as eggs and milk, which is through animal husbandry, so this helps in increasing the food. So when we produce more milk, then more population can be fed. For example, if the more egg is produced, more population can be fed. So animal also helps in increasing the food production. Now how has the animal husbandry benefited the economy? So does that mean it has helped our economy also? So to answer that question, a large number of farmers in India specifically depends on animal husbandry for their livelihood. So apart from milk, meat, eggs, animals are also used for transportation, right? And they are the major source of power for farmers. Like they are, even till date, they are used for plowing the field. There are different instead of using tractors, instead of using other machineries which uses diesel and other fuels, this animal is used as a power source for the farmer and helps in agriculture. So animal husbandry provides livelihood to many people and plays an important role in developing the economy of our country. So animal husbandry is also important with agriculture. Let's move to our next topic, which is how are crop rotation and mixed cropping useful. So as we learned earlier, the crop rotation is helpful because they when we rotate the crop, the quality of soil improves and availability of food is also done. So that makes it important. Now why is winnowing done and why is food stored in silos? Now that to answer that question, winnowing is done to separate grains from the straw, and especially husk and dust is what it is removed from. And foods are stored in silos because silo can store large amount of food grains and keep it safe. Now grain can be, why do farmer use antimicrobials as protection from pest? Now these grains are mixed with this antimicrobial so that to keep the safe storage. Now what it does is it also prevents any pest or insect attack, so which keeps the food safe. What is biotechnology and which biotechnology technique are used in plant improvement? Now to answer, biotechnology, if you have come across this term, is normally derived from two words, which is bio and technology. Now bio means life and technology is the techniques. So life techniques. So living organisms make or modify products or processes so that people can have better quality of food. Now there are 5 techniques used in plant improvement. First of all is the selection, in which selection is the process in which a desirable crop is selected based on its properties, and more of such crops are produced. Second is hybridization. Hybridization is the process in which the hybrid new variety is produced by cross pollination, right? And third is mutation, which is done by exposing the crops to ultraviolet and X-rays to make changes in their DNA, so that when the new variety of crop is produced, it is of better quality. Next is the tissue culture. Just a minute. Hybridization, yes, here it is, tissue culture. Now tissue culture is done by taking small samples of desirable parent plants and developing them to maturity in laboratories. Now generally this genetic engineering is a desirable process where genes are inserted into crops to produce a new kind of plant. So this is called as genetic engineering. What is artificial selection? What is artificial? So, the next question is about the hybridization. So, what is hybridization? Hybridization is a process by which two crops with desirable properties are cross pollinated to produce a new plant that has properties of both the parents plants. For example, if we take one variety of crop can fix nitrogen, another variety of crop can result in high yielding. So what do we do? By crossing these two variety artificially, a high yield and nitrogen fixing hybrid plant can be produced. Now sometimes samples of these parent plants are grown in artificial media in laboratories. So with that, what it is done, there are new copies that are made which are grown to maturity. Now this process is called as the tissue culture. Next is, what is genetic engineering? What is genetic engineering and how it is used in food production, and why is biotechnology used in food processing? So genetic engineering is a part of biotechnology. So what happens in genetic engineering? New genes from desirable plants are inserted into crops so that the new crops can be produced which are of better quality and high yield. Now this also means that the new crop has different properties, such as they are more disease, insect and herbicide resistant. Now they have increased the capacity to photosynthesize also through genetic engineering, and now the crops have been produced to fix nitrogen issue and to produce fruits and vegetables which are of more nutrients. Now biotechnology is used in food processing also to improve crop yield, safety of the crop and the quality of the processed products. Now we have talked about so many benefits of this. What could be some danger of using biotechnology in agriculture? Now biotechnology involves genes that can produce new kinds of organisms that can be dangerous for us. New species of plants produced through biotechnology can compete with the existing or local plants and wipe them out. So the new plants produced can wipe the existing local plants. So that can be quite dangerous because it may lead to eco disturbance. So this brings us to the end of the discussion and to the question of the day. There are dash types of animal husbandry. So how many types of animal husbandry are there is what you got to answer. Homework, complete S3 and complete practice questions 7 and 10. You don't have to do additional question, as you said that you are having too much of work, so we have just removed additional question. We are going to do that probably if we have time in revision, and if in case if you have any doubts or questions in related to today's class, you can reach me through the comment section. So thank you for your time and have a wonderful day ahead.